solve problem. We're just going to do a solve problem. Give me numbers. Actually, I'll tell you what to do. A tank.
Never do what I say, always do what I think.
Holds. They always do 100 gallons. I don't know why. 100 gallons. That's just supposed to be an all. Of fresh water. Pure water. Pure water. If a brine solution enters the tank at, pick a number 1 to 5.
3.
4.
4.
3 it
2.
is. 3 gallons per minute. A brine solution enters the tank at 3 gallons per minute and contains, I feel like this is spelled wrong.
That's right.
Sure, this is why I'm such a good speller. 3 gallons per minute and contains, give me number 1 to 5 again.
3.
I just used 3.
2.
4.
2.
1/4 of a gallon.
I heard you.
I know 1/4 of a pound
Oh.
per gallon of salt. Brine solution enters the tank at 3 gallons per minute. Contains quarter pound of salt per gallon. And the mixture, I'll just say the tank. Otherwise it's confusing. The tank is allowed to drain at 3 gallons per minute. How much salt is in the tank after 1 hour?
Is it usually the same going in and out?
No, it's hardest when it is. Well, it's actually not hardest, but you guys seem to struggle with it the most, which is why I'm doing that. All right, are you guys okay so far? I just wrote down the problem, so hopefully you're good. Okay, they have to give you your rate in, your concentration in, your rate out, and your initial volume. They have to give you all those things. Just they have to. So we have our rate in, we have our concentration in, we have our rate out, we have our initial volume, and then we're going to have our initial amount of salt. And whatever our initial amount of salt is, that means time is 0. Tank holds 100 gallons of pure water. 100 gallons means volume. Pure water, that means there's no salt in it when you start. That means my Y naught is 0. So far, so good? Okay. Then we've got, contains 1/4 pound of salt. So that's my concentration in. I'm writing this wrong. Sorry. Okay, and the tank is allowed to drain at 3 gallons a minute. This is 3 gallons in. This is 3 gallons out. Everyone okay so far? I hope so. Okay, so now I'm just going to set up my equation. My rate in, I'm just following that equation right there. My rate in is 3. My concentration in is 1/4. My rate out is 3. I don't plug in Y or T until after I integrate. My initial volume is 100. My rate in is 3. My rate out is 3 T. So far, so good.
Is that a plus or a T?
That is a T. That's why there's that little tail on the end. I can make it more pronounced.
Wait, the other one.
No, it's a plus.
I know. I don't really like T's. I like X's and Y's,
Yeah,
things
me
like
too.
that.
Not Z.
What?
Not Z.
Z looks like 2. Except for I can cross my Z's. So, well, my plus sign is crossed as well. I'm just going to keep going. So I have dy dt equals 3/4 minus 3 over 100 y. Notice that those cancel. I prefer integrating factor. You can use the integrating factor on every single solve problem. They're all linear first order equations, so you can always use integrating factor on solve. Does that make sense? Yes, Jimmy.
So is the t multiplied by the denominator or the whole thing?
Just rate in minus rate out.
So when it's,
Because they're the same, it's 0.
Because it's so
So far, so good, guys? Because I want to use integrating factor, I'm going to follow these 5 steps right here under the integrating factor thing. Is that okay?
You said you always do that?
For solid ones, I always do. And I always follow these rules when I'm doing integrating factor. So I'm going to bring this over there. I may have forgotten something that you need to memorize, and if I remember, I'll tell you. Yeah, I forgot to put up Lagrange, but I'll go through the rules with you guys then. Don't stress. I'm not going to bail on you. Okay, so far so good? Okay, now I have the right formula. It has to be dy dt plus something times y equals a number. The number can be 0, but y has to not be to a power. Stupid cord, I'm going to trip on it. Oh well. I equals e to the integral of 3 over 100. So it equals e to the 3 over 100 t. Now it's a t, not an x, because the letter here is a t. It's whatever letter that is. If you want to change everything to x's, that's fine. I'm going to keep using t's. Okay, this is my integrating factor. Now notice it says use integrating factor times y. So I have my integrating factor times my y equals the integral of I times q. Q in this case is 3 over 4. So far, so good? Excelente?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So then when I integrate this,
Is that you, Nick?
I just divide by the coefficient. You guys remember that? Now the plus c here is really important. Remember on your last test how you didn't have to remember the plus c because I either had it on the answer for you or they were bound so you didn't have a plus c? You need to remember your plus c every single time on this one. Ooh, so much fun. I know. Okay, so now I'm going to simplify just a little bit. E to the 3 over 100 t y 3/4. I'm going to multiply this by the reciprocal, so 100 over 3, e to the 3 over the 100 t plus c. Now notice the 3's cancel, the 100 and the 4 cancels, to just leave me with, I think that's my phone. Sorry.
My mom?
No, it's an alarm to remind me that I'm supposed to be teaching a review.
You're late.
Yeah, I'm totally late. Sorry. Actually, my mom did call me too. Okay, so far we have, what? I'm just going to keep going, Rafa. I don't know what you're talking about.
Spanish.
You're not even speaking Spanish, you're speaking English. And you don't even have an accent.
Welcome to BYU.
Now you're just marking yourself. Okay, everyone with me to here? See? I feel like I'm intern. You know what I really like about this class is I feel like you guys are a family. You know what I mean?
The spring.
I think it may be just because it's so fast that you just have to like bond to survive. Or like you have to laugh about it or cry and take laughing.
Live and
Laughing burns more calories.
Are we with this one so far?
live in the math.
Plus it's happier. Are you guys with me? Did I go too fast? Did I talk and not explain? Because I do that a lot. I would love to move.
Am I allowed to ask a question right here?
Yes, you may.
That'd be so funny.
So the C,
Yep.
how come we just brought it in like it was nothing?
brought in
Well,
what?
she got rid of that.
Plus C, right? Plus C is still there.
Yeah.
Because we
Still there. And then I divided by this.
So you did. Oh,
Still there.
you're right.
Jenny.
I'm confused why you. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I looked at it wrong.
You got it? Okay, now we're going to solve for our C. We're most of the way done with the problem, but we have 3 more important steps. We have to solve for our C. We have to rewrite the equation with the C in it, and then we have to plug in the proper T. It's not too hard. If you've made it to here, you can make it to the end. Okay. Y equals 25 plus C, E. Now, I'm going to put 0 in for T and 0 in for Y. And I'm doing that because the tank, before we had anything go in, was pure water. Pure means there was no salt in it. So the amount of salt was 0. And before we start means times 0. Whatever amount of salt is in the tank when you start, that means T equals 0. Okay? So what's e to the 0?
1.
1. So I should have negative 25 equals C. So I rewrite it as 25 minus 25. E to the negative 3 over 100 T. Now comes the trickiest part. Well, I think it's the trickiest part. 1 hour, you don't plug in 1. You plug in 60. Everything else is in minutes. So this has to be in minutes as well. They don't usually do that to you on the test, but I've seen them do it enough that I want to make sure you know. Make sense? It depends on who's writing the test. If it's someone who's taught the class before, they usually put it in minutes. But people who are used to teaching like other upper level classes, they're like, oh yeah, that's no problem. Everyone knows to change the units, you know. If they know how to do all the problem, they'll know to do that. And it's just rude. You know, they're not trying to be mean. They just don't think about it. Okay, I'm just going to put this in my calculator. If I can find my calculator. Found my calculator. Oops, that's not what I want. Excellent. Okay, I got y equals 20.86. Did I put it in right? 180. Yep, I win.